All right, welcome back, YouTube. This is Kramer's Garage. Back with, I guess, video 2. Don't know that I'm really going to put this in any special order or not. But the last video I did, the next thing that I was going to do and I talked about doing was going to be doing an oil change, what I call the little green car. So today I'm going to do that. I got it right here. I'm going to back it out into the driveway there, get at least the front jacked up. Excuse me. Get the front jacked up, start draining the oil. Well, actually, I'll probably run it for a little bit, warm up the oil. And then drain the oil, pull the filter, fill the filter up, put the oil back in it. So what I'm using for oil is Hot Rod Classic 10W40 from Lucas. Now that's what the engine builder recommended, even though I got like a roller cam. Just being that it's an older style block, that's what he recommended, so I'm going with that. And then I just got a basic Wix filter. A guy I work with at our dealership builds mini rod pulling tractors and a lot of high horsepower engines and whatnot, and he uses Wix, recommended the Wix, so that's what I'm going with. I don't think that there's any issues with Wix at our dealership. We use Wix all the time, so to me they're a good filter. You probably have your own recommendations and whatnot. I've used a couple of different filters, K&N filters, percolator filters, and of course working at a Chrysler dealership, Mopar. I'm assuming I could have probably gotten a Mopar filter, but I'm not too worried about it. I like the Wix. Wix has been good to us, so that's what I'm going with. I do want to give a big shout out though right away. I did have a subscriber right away yesterday morning. That was Shotlift Family Firewood. He's got a YouTube channel here in town. I'm on the fire department with him. He's a good friend of mine. So a huge shout out to him. If you want to go check out his channel, again, it's Shotlift Family Firewood. He's got a great YouTube channel there. Does a lot of firewood, cutting up videos, splitting videos, selling of wood, firewood, and whatnot. So go check out that channel. Give him a little visit. So I guess what I'll do is I will back the car out. I like to push it out of the garage, so what I'll do is I'll set the camera down, push it out, do a good walk around, probably while it's warming up, to get a good sound bite and a good walk around. Don't have a lot of room in the garage to get a good view of the car, so I'll do that while it's warming up, so stick with me. Alright, I probably have to mind me on the wind. It is pretty windy right here. It's like a wind tunnel, so you'll probably get a lot of wind noise. But here's a good walk around of the car while it's warming up. Pressure there, running about 800-900 RPMs on idle. All right, we'll let this get warmed up and take you along for the oil change. All right, I got you set up here. Kind of watch this process. It's pretty tight in here. I'm gonna go ahead and start draining the oil. Yes, I know the plug was kind of loose. Took no effort. It's got a stupid plastic washer that I'm actually going to change out. Hopefully get a little bit tighter here. Like I said, jacking it up, I can only get it up so high, and it is pretty tight in here. All right, nice and easy. Oil's coming out good. Doesn't look too bad. I'll get some on my finger. Look at it. Looks pretty new yet. Just a little bit on the darker side. So I'm gonna hop on out now. Probably just have this on a time lapse watching that drain, because that's also fun. And then what I'll probably do is go to the top side and loosen that filter up. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'll just put the car back down on the ground and fill her up. Alright, so hopefully the camera stays there. I'm just going to take this off here. Nothing too elaborate. Set that aside. Go grab my oil, the funnel. Alright, back at it. Just fill this with 5 quarts. We should be set to go. Alright, that should about do it. Let that kind of drain into it a little bit. obviously I'll check that after I start it, just to make sure. That should be good. I'll actually do, probably take a little bit of oil, put it on the inside of this just so it comes on and off a little bit easier next time. Sure we don't get too much on there. Put my breather back on. All right. All right, that is all set. Just double check, make sure my filter is tight. And she is. I'll come here, should fire right up. Beautiful. Sure I got oil pressure. Engine's got good oil pressure. Oh yeah, beautiful. Alright. So now we'll go ahead and check it. This might be kind of hard. I'm going to stick you under my arm here. Could probably add just a smidgen more. This is just a 5-quart oil pan, and there's about a half a quart in oil filter-ish. So I'm not going to be too concerned about it. That is what we got. Alright, so that was the oil change. With monkeying around, doing daddy duty and all that. I mean, maybe that took me half an hour at the absolute most. It is definitely different when you got to set up a camera, tear down a camera, move a camera, talk to the camera, show what's kind of going on. But it was just a simple, very simple oil change. Draining the pan, taking the filter off, putting a new filter on there, putting the plug in, filling it with oil, starting it up, making sure we got good oil pressure. And that's about it. So what I'll probably do now is I'll drive it in the garage, and then I'll probably head on inside and I'll find the dyno sheets. I got them in a packet. I'll find the dyno sheets and I'll show you those and kind of, I guess, just talk about the engine, what the engine shop did to the engine, but I'll make it pretty brief so this video doesn't drag on. We'll go from there, and I'll show you that stuff. Alright gang, back after you, after a couple of days after doing the oil change, back inside the house, grabbed the dyno papers that I got, so we're going to go over them. I have the original ones from when the motor was originally built for my grandfather for the car, and then I have the updated ones when I had the engine rebuilt. So let's go over that, I guess. Alrighty then, folks. So this is the original dyno sheet from June of '98. This motor, it 4,500 RPMs, was making 427 foot-pounds of torque and 391 horsepower. That was, I believe, this is the only dyno sheet I do have of this. This and a bunch of stuff about the top end kit that he had on the vehicle, or that was for this motor, is the only bit of information that I have. So that's all I got to go with, really, to be honest with you. So with that being said, this is from, actually, wow, June of 23, when this dyno, or this engine was dynoed. I had this built through T&B's out of Monroe. They do a lot of custom engine building. They do a lot with tractor pulling, race cars, and all that. My coworker has a lot of his engines built through T&B's. They got a really good reputation as far as making power, making it done right, so on and so forth. So in June of 23, this engine was dynoed. We'll do, looks like that's horsepower first. So down here at 57, 58, so I was a little off. I thought it was 56, 57. We were looking at 540 horsepower. And then at the torque, looking at 539, 540 pretty much at 4,500 RPMs. So a good mid-range, I guess, or so torque power band there. Now that was at 30 degrees of timing with a Holley, I believe it's a Brawler carb. That was 750 CFM. So that's what we got there. I do have the only torque curve that he printed out in this graph form was this one. So this is comparing the Holley that T&B's had for a test or a dyno carb, and then the carb that I had purchased, the Edelbrock AVS2. So this Holley was 750 CFM. My Edelbrock is 800 CFM. Now this chart was from a couple of pulls before this last one. They did 6 total pulls, so this is a couple before them. But actually, down low in the RPM range, the Edelbrock seemed pretty stout. But then once it got up to the higher RPMs, it, for the most part, evened out as far as horsepower and torque. Now this one is the horsepower, and this one is the torque. So really, either carb does pretty good. If I probably would have went up to an 850 Holley, probably could have seen a little bit of a difference, but my guess is probably not. I'm pretty well restricted, again, airflow wise too, with the intake that we ended up going with. So that is the dyno sheets from the engine dyno that I went down and witnessed a couple of pulls. What I might do, depending on how my editing goes, I'm a little bit better with the second video here. I'll put a clip of actually running it through the dyno.
It really sounds aggressive.
Yeah, it does.
Water pumping's on, right? I believe it was. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
hope you guys enjoyed the oil change and whatnot. Stick with me, probably next episode. I'm going to try... Okay, let's back up a little bit. I'm going to try to do videos at least once a week if I can. I don't really, right now, we're just coming into spring. I don't have a whole lot of, I should say, a lot of good content to put out. But once it comes to summer, I'm definitely going to be getting the rides in, working on it pretty good. Like I said, I do have to put a electric fuel pump in it yet. There was something else I was going to do. Oh, it was putting a GPS speedo in and a different tachometer, going up to a Autometer Ultra Comp, I believe, speedo and tach. So that'll be upcoming. That, I don't know if I'm going to start working on those two things after this video comes out or not. I'm going to put this one out on Monday and try to keep it regularly on Monday. It'll probably be hit or miss just because I don't have enough content right now. But I will try to do my best. It was noted on my last video, and I just went and done it again, as I am going to be trying to work on my ums and ahs. It's really hard for me in my normal day-to-day language. It works in a lot, and talking into a camera is obviously new to me, but I'm going to try working on that as much as I can. I'll probably still say it from time to time. I know I have said it a couple times in this video, but needless to say, I hope you guys enjoyed the oil change. It was a pretty quick, easy oil change, nothing too elaborate, but I wanted to show that, at least me working on the car, showing that I actually work on it. I try to do as much as I can working on the car. So, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one.